Right?
No, but back to what we're talking about, performance standards. You know, I always set standards. I always set a goal every year. And if I don't create that goal, my performance will not improve.
Well, you just said it. At the end of the day, it just comes down to standards. And part of having high standards has to come from, you have to create a life that's built off of discomfort, and you have to be comfortable with that discomfort.
So what is that? Because 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Well, look, let's just start with what I do. Me waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do what I do and then be in the gym at 4 and then leave at 5:30 and have all kinds of shit done. But by the time you wake up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, there's nothing comfortable. Even though it's now on autopilot, there's still nothing comfortable about me getting up at 2 in the morning, because there are days where the last 3 weeks I've been getting to bed at like 11:30. So I'm literally only sleeping 2.5 hours. I'm on 2.5 hours sleep right now.
Wow.
But my energy is still mega high, and I'm still operating really high. And I still made some pretty good money today. But that's the difference, is my standards. And I'm comfortable with being this uncomfortable, because you know what happens? At the end of the day, when I do get to the point that I want to be, I get to buy all my time back.
Right. And until you change your mindset, you'll always be broke.
And here's the thing, yeah. And here's the thing. I have gotten to the point where even on a low day, I'm impenetrable. There's nothing that can get in my way to actually get me to feel like, hey, it's okay to relax.
You know what you said just reminded me 2 days ago. Remember when it was raining?
Yeah.
It was gloomy here. Now, I came from Seattle. I know all about doom and gloom, okay? I love the sun. It was gloomy. I started coming down with this little mindset. I'm like, stop.
That bullshit Seattle mindset.
Right. I was like, oh, man, I'm not getting depressed. No, I'm having a good day. I had to force myself to get back on the train, because
But that's high performing thinking.
I mean, I'm like, this weather, it started bringing me down, because I started saying it was bringing me down. And I had to literally I'd go in the mirror and look at myself. Dude, do not buy that garbage.
No, tired, in my vocabulary, I try to teach this to my students, tired is a bad word. I don't use the word tired. If I'm starting to feel beat up for the day, like I might use I'm getting a little sleepy, but I don't get tired. Tired, as soon as you say tired, your brain actually will immediately start to believe that.
Right.
And it'll slowly start lowering your energy and your vibrations.
Right.
By the time 6 o'clock comes around, you're actually tired.
Right.
Because you convince yourself of that. And, you know, it's just the world that we're in right now, where people are, there's no middle right now. You're either going to rise to something huge and great, or you're going to start falling.
I believe, and I'm seeing that now. I'm seeing, you know, I try not to watch the news. You're going to get it anyways. It's going to pop on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But what I've seen is there's people that will drop, and there's no jobs, this and that and this. And it's like, I'm not seeing that. I'm pushing business away right now.
That's a great position to be in.
I've got 5 opportunities a day coming on my plate right in front of me. And I'm like, I can't do it. And so my mindset changed. I'm not going to buy into that garbage. But there's people going this way, and there's people going this way.
Yeah, there's no middle right now.
There's no middle right now. You're either falling or you're rising.
Right.
You got to rise to the top.
Yeah. And pay attention to what you're consuming and who you're consuming from.
Right.
Like, you know, we've got a couple of our books here right now. These are all books that I've read, and well, actually, that one I haven't yet. I just got that. Mark Evans is probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met.
Yeah, I've read those two. I haven't read this one.
But in my coaching and all the good nitty gritty you got to get from me through my coaching, but you know, all my coaching clients, based on where they're currently at in their life and what I feel like they might need to help them excel from where they're currently at, there's certain books that I will assign to them to read, and they have about 10 days to read it. My assignments are 3 books a month. That's my challenge to them, on top of everything else that comes with what they hire me for. Obviously, for most people, it's 1 a month, but the goal is to get to 3 a month, and then eventually get to 1 a week.
Right.
Somehow
that requires a change in your life.
That's mindset, man. Like, again, like I said, like it's you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And we won't go into this, but you know, like it's like we've talked about before. People will choose to listen to an audiobook instead of read because it's easier. But you're not internalizing that.
No.
Because you're driving, it enables you to do other things.
You can't stop and focus.
Right.
And when you read, you can't have distractions. But when you're driving, Oh, look at that. Look
But
at
you,
that.
yeah, and you also can't read what doesn't serve you for where you're currently at in your life.
Right.
You have to be reading something that actually is going to bring out a weakness in you.
Yeah, you can't read Lord of the Rings. I mean, come on.
No, but you also can't. But if you're amazing at something, then that might not motivate you to want to keep reading that same book. You got to read something where that makes you like tap into your flaws and it's like, you know what, this is actually going to make me better because I suck at this.
And force you to change your comfort zone. And like, I got to grow to this level. I'm only level 2 instead of 5.
And I got to be just on to read for 30 minutes. Shit, that's not easy. But
No.
you know what? If it's what you got to do. Like if you're not in the right environment and you don't have the right people around you,
Right.
that's fine. Keep your blinders on. But when you go home, pick up the books.
You have to be around people with a warrior's mindset. We want to win. We're winning. We're not going to fail. We're going to stand there and fight the good fight, right? Because we want the results. We like that. I don't buy into it. I never give up. I'm not a quitter. And if I quit, then I'm going to be right back where I was 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, right? Because in 2 weeks I could be back there. 30 days it could be gone. 60 days.
We just talked about this, and we'll slowly start closing this up. But one of the things that I always try to tell people is there's a difference between, so when we all go on vacation, everybody takes vacation times and whatnot. There's a big difference between taking a break and I need to recharge.
Recharge.
The mentality behind that, because here's the thing, like for me, like I've told you this before, most people know this about me. I run quarterly. I go 90-day Madman cycles as hard as I can. And I max out my mental capacity until there's nothing left every single day for 90 days straight. After about 90 days, when 91, 92 days comes around, I start hitting walls because my capacity has literally tapped out, like completely.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to take a break. I'll get away to isolate myself so I can realign my mind, my body, my soul, my goals, the things that matter the most, and I'll recharge. So here's what happens. When you go away on vacation and you're somebody who's like a workaholic, you can go on vacation and you can take a break. So you're going from a high operating level, and I'm going to go on vacation, I'm going to take a break. Well, by telling yourself I'm going to take a break, that means you're now bring down your vibrations and your frequency, and now basically bring down your mental performance of operation, and now you've lowered it. So you go on a break. But then when you come back, you have to pick back up on that momentum to get back to where you were before you took that vacation. But if I'm at a high level performance and I'm super aggressive and momentum is on my side, but I'm hitting that wall because I've tapped everything out for the last 3-4 months, well, I'm just going to step away from the world and I'm going to recharge at that high level. So my mind is still sitting on where it left off, and I'm just recharging the batteries for a few days.
Right.
So when I come back to reality, my energy and my thought process is right where it left off. I don't need to create more momentum. It's picking up where it left off.
It's what we call the Aspen effect.
Yes.
Right? And we'll talk about that
Where
in
the
another
billionaires
episode.
reside.
Right, right.